Yo, 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 what's goody, what's goody, what's goody? Hey, what's up, what's up, what's up? It's your girl, Neek, and you're tuned in to Neek at Night. And I've been seeing this whole preliminary trial transpire, transpire online. And I kind of wanted to just do a live to get you guys' take on it. I did a poll on my Instagram, and I was like, yo, who's lying and who's telling the truth? And there was a lot of people overwhelmingly on Terry. What is up with me miss saying words right now? There was a lot of overwhelming comments in favor of Tory Lanez versus Meg The Stallion. And then there were also comments who pretty much took the side of Meg The Stallion, thinking that the people who were on the side of Tory Lanez was bugging. Now, I've seen comments of people, basically compare Meg to Jussie Smollett. And it just was a lot going on as details have surfaced in the preliminary trial. Now, if you guys don't know, I mean, everybody knows that this has been going on for a while. Tory Lanez was basically charged in this situation, and now things are unraveling as the trial is going forward. And they basically had a preliminary trial where Tory Lanez's attorney had things to say and their evidence to present. And they also had the DA, who basically was in the defense of Meg, say their piece as well. And as things have been going on and being unveiled, a lot of people have been feeling away. Now, before we get into all of what has been said online, I just kind of want to take a look at who is defending Tory Lanez and who his representation is. Now, if you guys don't know, his attorney is a heavyweight, and she is a person who basically represents the stars. So she is a person who is on Kim Kardashian's legal defense team. She also represented Lindsay Lohan, and she was a part of the dream team as it pertains to Johnny Cochran and the whole OJ Simpson trial. Now, she was a part of OJ Simpson's defense team, and she is, like I said, a heavy hitter in the industry, along with her being associated with Tupac Shakur, Justin Bieber, and she had a host of other accolades as well. She is heavily involved with the Kardashian and Jenner family, and now she is representing Tory Lanez in this case against Meg The Stallion. Now, I felt like that was important to note because we got to see who the person is behind the representation. Now, there has been new details that has surfaced between the relationship as it pertains to Kelsey and Meg The Stallion and the incident that happened leading up to her being shot. There has been testimony that there was residue found on Kelsey's hands, and there has been testimony that there was a fight leading up. Now, I'm going to go over some of the things, and I want to know what you guys think about it. And I also want you guys to join in on the live because I really don't know. I'm still waiting for the actual factuals of it because we have two sides. We have the defense, and then we have the representation, who's his attorney. So the defense obviously is going to make things look good for Meg, and the attorney for Tory is obviously going to make things look good for him. And there has been things said on both sides. So when it first started, the preliminary trial, there was mention that I guess Tory allegedly had like pointed his gun and allegedly said dance B, and then allegedly was the one to shoot her. And people were like, oh my God, like he told her dance B, da 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 da. Then when it was Tory's attorney's time to speak, They revealed a lot more information as it pertains to this situation. And it was alleged that Kelsey had more involvement in the situation than we may have known before. Now, like I said, it was alleged that they had a fight, but we're just going to go on over this whole um TMZ article and read through what they are saying. So there is an independent witness that came forward and told cops that they saw Meg The Stallion and her female friend Kelsey fighting just moments before Meg was shot in the foot. A piece of evidence Tory Lane's teams feels cast a serious doubt on what Meg said about him being the shooter. During Tuesday's preliminary hearing, a detective testified this is an independent witness who allegedly saw the shooting happen and claimed the gun's muzzle flash went off closer to Kelsey than it did Tory. Now, Tory's attorney, Sean Harvey, says the muzzle flash detail is corroborated by the gunshot residue found on the other female's hands and also tells us it was further established that Meg gave several inconsistent accounts of what happened that night and she omitted key information to the police. Holly is almost certain, basically referring to what Meg first told responders, that she had glass and not bullet. So basically, the whole thing about this whole bullet versus glass thing. So there was rumors that Meg The Stallion had kicked out basically the glass, right? And they were saying like she kicked out the glass window and that's how she had the cut on her foot. Then she had came back because that's what she initially told the cops. She was like, I cut my foot on glass, yada, yada, yada. When she came back with her story, she then said that she was shot and that it was bullet fragments. But as they started to comb through this case, they revealed that somehow, some way, the bullet fragments, I guess, kind of disappeared. So, she had basically showed her foot and it says somewhere here, hold on, wait, where does it mention the bullet fragments? Hold on, let me go up. So they did an update. Okay. And they said the bullet fragments that allegedly were removed from Meg The Stallion's ankles cannot be located. It says, of course, if available, the fragments would be hard evidence to prove it was a bullet and not glass. If they're missing, it leaves the door open for other possibilities. So, what they're saying is basically at this point in the hearing, they cannot determine if she was really shot in her foot or if it was really glass that cut her foot, because the evidence that would corroborate whether it was glass or a bullet is now missing. So that begs to differ what really happened. Now, I will not tell no lies. If Tori shot the gun and then Kelsey picked up the gun after, then she would have gun residue on her hands. Or if Kelsey shot the gun, okay, she would have it on her hands, blah, blah, blah. Now, when Kelsey had did her diss track, I'm not sure if you guys remember, but Kelsey called her diss track Bussin' Back. So I don't know if that was a subliminal to what actually happened that night, but I'm just going to bring that up as well, as maybe this was her subliminal to allude that she was the one busting back, as they are now saying that gun residue was found on her hands, or perhaps it could be Tori. Who knows? I don't know. They're still going through the trial, and this is only a preliminary trial, which, like I said, this is Tory Lane's attorney who's presenting these facts. We can see what the defense later has for us. But I found it interesting that, they're alluding that Kelsey was the one who had gun residue. Kelsey was the one who she basically had a fight with leading up to it. And the title of Kelsey's diss track to Meg was Bussin' Back. Okay. And this was basically her shots fired back at Meg when Meg was trying to make her out to be the bad friend. And Kelsey alluded that Meg The Stallion was the one who, in fact, double dipped behind a friend and went after a guy that she was dealing with and broke the friend code first. It's a lot going on, and I want y'all to let me know what y'all think about it. To join the chat, you can definitely click the link. You don't have to be on camera, but I want to know what you guys have to say. There was 4 individuals in the car. So in the car was Kelsey, Tory, Meg, and the bodyguard. Now, we've kind of seen subliminals from Kelsey. She's given vague statements. We haven't really heard from the bodyguard. Now, I know there was like some months back, the bodyguard supposedly had released a statement, but it was revealed that that was pretty much cap clout and that was like fake reporting and it wasn't from the real bodyguard. Now, we haven't actually heard from the real bodyguard, but we do now have, according to TMZ, a witness who is alleging that they saw the whole entire thing and they are alleging that it was Kelsey who was in closer proximity and it was Kelsey whom she was having a fight with. But then they're like, wait a minute, the key evidence that would corroborate this whole thing is missing. So I kind of wanted to open up the floor to hear what some of you guys had to say. Um, and somebody said it's Tory's gun because he's still getting a gun charge. Um, la la la. Dom, Dominique, go ahead.
Oh, no, I just wanted to correct you on something. Well, first, at first,
You're not. We can't hear you, so I don't know what you call yourself correcting. I don't know what happened to what he had to say, but we can't hear him. Anyways, so let me know what y'all think in the chat. Somebody said go to the Variety report and it explains it better. Let me see what Variety is saying. So it says Meg The Stallion slams media for coverage of Tory hearings ever since July 2020 incident in which Tory Lanez allegedly shot Meg in the foot after an argument. The two have used social media songs and even in Lane's case a full album to air their differing sides. So let me pull up the Variety report. But you gotta remember certain media will favor whoever the top person is. So is this Variety article actually citing actual court records or are they giving their opinion in favor of one person or another? Because these medias seem to have alliances with record labels. So you know, I really don't know, but I know like the actual record of the incident was reported correctly from TMZ. Not to say that TMZ gets it right all the time, just to say that they actually were, citing the actual court records for real for real. Court,
Hey.
hey.
Yeah. Like you said, like this whole case is honestly just messy. Literally, no one refuses to speak directly. Everything is always like very indirect, missing all these pieces. I honestly feel like Megan doesn't know who shot her. She's just assuming or convinced herself that it was Tori. I think that there was a struggle for the gun, and I guess I don't know. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, Megan like released her hands and was walking away, while Tori and Kelsey, and I don't know, maybe I think the bodyguard or the driver, whoever else, and I think like in that struggle, the gun went. Or sorry, I don't know if I can like say that on your like channel. The object went off and released something that like ricocheted off the ground, and that is how she got injured. I don't think that someone literally pulled out an object to specifically harm her. And I think that because of I think that when we see Megan speaking in interviews or on like Instagram lives, I think the emotion that we see from her is hurt from the drama surrounding it, hurt from the love triangle situation that went on. Because at first, I was giving support Black women, the first time they speak. I've always been like that, but it's like if it was black and white, like this person did this, you would not have all of this extraness with it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It's just,
What
I,
about the evidence of the glass? So when this first happened, she reported that she was cut by glass,
mhm,
and then she was shot in both of her feet, and then it went from being shot to then it was fragments of a bullet.
mhm. I,
Then it went to,
yeah,
well, we can't locate whether it was glass or a bullet fragment, and we can't corroborate either of the two because that evidence is missing. What do you think as it pertains to the missing evidence?
I, I don't find that unusual. Because, well, I personally don't find that unusual because I'm assuming that like hospitals and different like clinics and stuff don't keep stuff forever. But of course, like if
I
there's
mean, we're talking about a gun
yeah, no,
shot,
that's what I was literally about to say.
though.
I was like, but then when you look at like the fact that there's an ongoing case, I don't know what's going on. I don't think because I've seen different conspiracies about Megan's like label and stuff. Like people have been talking about like, yeah, they're, conspiring with the hospital. I'm sorry, like Megan is, while she's a star, like this is not like Michael Jackson or like Beyonce or something like where she has the funds to do all of that. I think that it may have just been lost, like just because of like human incompetence and error. Like that's not something that is unusual in like these type of like court cases. Not saying that it's okay, but like I don't think that there was any intentional foul play. I think that it literally might have just been lost.
Right. Douchey Life says, how do you believe Tori and say Meg is lying? We clearly saw doctors pulling fragments out of her foot from her video. So, Douchey, the question is, what fragments were they pulling out of her foot, being that the evidence has not been located to corroborate? So although we've seen some object being pulled from her foot, what is in question now is what exactly those objects were, being that there was mention of glass being broke, there was mention of glass being the cause, and then there was a second mention of gun fragments being the cause. And then to determine what fragments it actually was, how can we determine either if the evidence is missing? That's kind of the question. Was it glass? Was it bullets? That's kind of the question. Nobody is saying I'm not saying, oh, she's lying, she's not that.
Yeah.
I'm just asking y'all. I'm posing the question to you guys on what you think giving this new information.
Right. And I'm not saying that she's lying either. Like I genuinely believe like she was injured. I mean, we literally saw stitches, but I think that it was debris, whether that was glass or whatever else, was released when like the object ricocheted off the ground. I feel like even if she was grazed, people that are grazed, like they're down for, a while. I'm not saying that like she wouldn't be able to walk again, but like she wouldn't have like bounced back that fast, or at least just from my knowledge of what it means to be grazed. It's not, it's not some, I mean, maybe she healed fast, but I don't know if, I don't know if I would, I don't know if, I don't believe that yet. And I know that sounds bad to say that you don't believe someone, but I have to be honest with myself.
All right.